All right, and we are properly live here. Sorry that there might be some background noise. I was trying to figure out my settings before because we are going to be running the compressor tonight, so hopefully it's not too bad for anybody. Also, hi face if you're still here. We'll be working on these tile guys. Got the whole comp patrol assembled here. Got 5 of these drones. We got one of the weapon options I magnetized. And then we have what should be Dre Fireblade, just a quick little head swap on him. And Ethereal. 3 of the stealth suits. Teleportation beacon. Support turret, and what should be 10 Fire Warriors. Let me just count, make sure I got them all. Should be 10 of them. 8. Oh, 10 right here. There we go. So, we're going to be doing quite a bit of airbrushing work tonight. Magnets. Live indeed. Yep, so magnetize this guy. Was a little bit overzealous with the magnetization here, but should all be good. Just getting the airbrush out of its case. Also, there may be some fireworks. I was hearing them earlier tonight. People are still shooting those off from Cinco de Mayo. But yeah, they were fine. So these guys were super easy, as were the old ones, just because they are older models. Those usually come together a bit easier. I think only complaint is like these little rabbit ear bits here that like they're not sculpted onto the helmet, so they're all a bit easy to lose. I actually was not able to find one for this guy. Or rather, I lost it for quite a while. Also, it was quite fun. I got a new Dremel. I did some work gouging out bits of this guy's head. Ah yes, sink the mayonnaise. I have no clue what that is even in reference to. Oh, Cinco de Mayo. Okay, understood. Oh, I was thinking like, what is this mechanism for? Because I'm saying it's not like changing the nozzle spread or anything, right? That would be crazy. It's basically just to help you with control. I see. I was playing with that for about. Yeah, it's all right. This guy was kind of hard. I feel like the newer the kit is, the harder it is to put together, almost universally. Although I do like how he came out, and he was relatively easy to magnetize. I ended up just gluing these on because I was lazy, but I probably should have magnetized those also. I might rip them off at some point. Alright. Let's actually run this compressor and get started. Yeah. It sucks with my airbrush set because it's very hard to actually see the chat, so if I miss something, have mercy. Although there may be quite a bit of airbrushing this stream. Right. Let me also just sort a few out. The lore. Ah, hold on. I'm seeing something I messed up. One more. I am back with clean water. Oh, hopefully the music wasn't doubling up. I just realized you guys are hearing my desktop audio and the separate record. Hopefully that wasn't too bad for you. So also we're gonna have to do gray primer. I have this Vallejo gray surface primer that I never use. I just want to get through it on this project. Either way, we're gonna be re-upping with a darker color momentarily. But just for initial prime. So one thing for these guys is that they're sort of on the battlefield. I'm assuming they're probably like it's not Borkan, the experimental weapon guys, or maybe Borkan. About the best my Talor. Okay, very good. Whatever. Yeah, I think it's Borkan that makes all the experimental weapons. I assume they're like a branch of these guys that are out here, out there exploring, sort of deep space, like deep infiltration into both Imperial and Votan territory. They're trying to steal some tech. Steal / get inspired by. Okay, had this near the core. Yeah, basically. Like exploratory expedition out there, sponsored by one of the major seps. Although still somewhat shadowy and secluded, not really operating. Yeah, I still need to brainstorm there. Yo, that's bad. That catch? Yo, that's horrible. I assume that was on camera, right? No, that wasn't. I'm an idiot. Yo, okay. Give me one moment. No, my entire pot of airbrush paint fell off, so I just need to clean that very quick. And I think for the rest of the stream, probably, or for the rest of the airbrushing session, I'm probably not gonna be able to look at chat too much. Sorry about that. But I think this is gonna take my full concentration. And I'm probably gonna have to clean the outside of this airbrush at some point, but hopefully we can get through the rest of this project. Yeah, it's not the best. Either way, I'm gonna have to move this up a little bit, and then I'll just be in a slightly more comfortable area, and then I just won't be able to see chat is the issue. So you're gonna have to you're gonna have to just be comfortable with speaking out the void for an hour or so. Okay, let's get that back in there. Well, I was paying attention to you, and you saw how well that went. Also, let me not have this cable in my face. Say as I can't unplug my phones. Okay, there we go. All right. I love the feeling of transcending to another dimension when the compressor is running. Is it picking up? Hi. Is it bad? if it's real bad, I might be able to figure something out. Bro, everything's falling apart around me. If it's loud, I can turn my own volume down momentarily. Is it? Ah, it is. Yeah. Huh. Okay. I might have an idea to fix that, but it would involve. I'd have to do it once my airbrush is no longer filled with paint. Okay. If it really is that bad, I may be able to do something, but I would rather just get some actual progress done. Apologies. Ask your wife what? Oh man. Right. Yeah, I don't think the blue tack is the best idea. I should just not drop a super glue, but if anything, we could do the drones later. I used a texture paste and then some of these sort of like green, it's almost like aquarium gravel that someone gave me. I don't really like the detail on it, but I figured I might as well use it here. And then I'm going to do a layer of like my favorite snow effect over it. Yeah. I mean, I think you use something similar, right? Your base. I just find it doesn't have a great texture to it. Hmm. Maybe I need to thin this down just a little bit more. Okay. Is it really this thick, or am I just dumb here? Oh, seems good. I'm really a fan of the super glue PVA. Yeah, it gives like a nice organic effect to it. I quite liked on your guard. On the that was one of the rare Friday based streams. Yeah, you mentioned that. I think that would be also a interesting thing. Really? Whatever. I have no clue what's going on with this airbrush tonight. Let's not do any more. I feel like the reducer is making it worse, so I'll probably just do water. My nozzle just fully clogged? Like, what is this? I feel like that's probably the initial spill I made, bunking everything up now. Alright, never mind. I forget what it was. But I don't know if that's gonna help now. my Now my ping desk looks like the android from Alien. Milky white everywhere. Alright. Just like figure it out, I guess. Alright. You know. Figured that was about that. Very least I know what the issues are, so I will be correcting them once I get the last. Just throw down some quick base coats and at least give some texture for the paint to hold on to. And do start. Right, there we go. Finally. So, first things first. Take off the glove. So moving. And there. All right. The vibration should be good. That should no longer be an issue. Time to actually clean this airbrush. I think the changes are good. I like the direction of the changes. In reality, it seems like a lot of power creep. I think as long as the approach to the game stays as competitively minded as it is currently, where everyone's playing to win, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult to get the game in the state I would necessarily love it to be in, because there's a lot more options, and that's good because we have very few options. But I think 40k is so hyper optimized the way you see it played now that I think is in some way a community. Like the community changed a lot over the past couple of years. Like even at local game stores. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I do like having more options to play with, especially for certain factions. I think it's gonna be healthier than 10th, but still maybe some of the same core issues. Instead of like spamming one detachment or like one unit in a detachment, you're gonna be spamming 3 of them, which is maybe still not how I want armies to be played. It just promotes you to either use the generic detachment or the weird skew detachment, right? Even if you have 3 skews, that's still, I don't think, not... It's weird. It's a little bit funky. We'll see. I liked the Crucible of Champions rules for 10th. I hope those stay and get expanded. That would be cool. I don't ever heard of any like major drama. I think most of the core changes seem at least fine. The competitive community is a huge turn for me. I just want narrative, win or lose. Yeah, that's I think where I'm at. I think where a lot of people that I think want to get into 40k would be. I feel like catering to competitive is such a weird business strategy. Everything seems to be working now. I think I know what the problem from the start was, and I hope I fixed it. So, also, is the vibration an issue still? I assume not, right? Yeah, I mean, I've been to really cool, into interesting events and like competition. Um, and it's usually the ones that are, yeah, thank you. Okay, good. All right. I feel like I came in this stream very flustered, and now I think we can finally start decompressing and actually get to some good painting. Now that all my technical issues are properly sorted. Yeah, no, I've been to fantastic like events, right? I don't mind doing a tournament, but I feel like people need to be in the right headspace, which is if you're playing to win and you're like you have like you're not having any form of like narrative play. There's like no investment, which is why I think we had stuff like painting grades and gamesmanship grades, and why there was narrative requirements to all tournaments, and why I think all the very lax restrictions are maybe not the best. Like they have not resulted in positive changes to 40k. I don't know. I've also heard 40k always had a weird community. There were always people who were like very try hard and would do weird stuff to win games. Even like back in 3rd edition is what I heard from some of the old heads. And fantasy apparently didn't have that problem to the same degree. It's definitely a lot more of a major issue, it seems. So I think this guy's good for his prime. Alright, let's start doing some of these other guys. Dude, we'll just blame Face for everything, because he distracted me. He caused this, really, when you think about it. In reality, it's all his fault. Yeah, I know you don't play 40k, but there's like fundamentally some game design issues I have with it. Best way I've seen it described is war games are typically like games of questions, right? But 40k is a very weird example where everyone gets their way, right? And typically it's the more greedy player that wins, because it's so easy to kill stuff. Obviously I'm joking, but because it's so easy to kill stuff, it often is okay. If you go into a turn and you say, okay, I'm gonna kill a moderate amount of my stuff, of my opponent's things, you lose, right? But if you play greedy, you get all the objectives, you just kill everything of your opponents that you can see. Oh, you win, right? And oftentimes the way that maps out is just that, like, the best units are just able to do that, right? The best units and the best attachments are able to put so much damage output. Or just be sort of like, on the other hand, there's only like a few combos that are ridiculously tanky. Even then, they're not that tanky compared to what other editions had. Like, people complain about Titus, but given all the multi-damage stuff out there, yeah, like it can be really fun, right? But it's, you need your own play group. Like, I keep trying to go to events and like pick up games for 40k and it never works out. Like, it needs to be guys you know, guys that are on the same level as you. It's like, I'm having such a great time with Old World, and that's such a great community, and it's, even the most competitively minded people will adjust their play pattern for you, right? If you're having fun, they're gonna have a fun casual game, they'll pull their punches, and they'll do stuff that's more thematic. Also, 40k has very low variance, right? Old World, like, I just randomly had my Doom build do like no damage and get killed by goblins, like over the course of, like 4 rounds, of course, but still, which is not supposed to happen, but it does, right? Because there's so few rerolls, there's so much variance in that game. That's, even like your strong units might just whiff, or even your weak units. You know, most things only have 1 wound. If they fail their save, they're dead. And that used to be 40k, right? A Space Marine, like a 3+ armor save was so hard to get through, and 4 toughness actually did matter. So they felt tough, but 1 bad save and and it's a dead Space Marine, and you felt it, right? Of the people, like, they would certainly play narratively, yeah, which is good, right? You have your own small community, and I hope eventually you manage to get in some more people to play with you, and they can actually experience on the tabletop, because it's a great experience. It's just that the broader community around it, at least for me as someone who plays a lot, leaves something to be desired. And I'm not saying that, that's everyone, right? I've met a lot of great people, but it just, typically, even the people I like, the ones that are very into 40k, approach the game on a different level to me. It's sometimes very hard to meet them eye to eye and play the game in the way both of us will enjoy. My 40k safe space is in my own head. My 40k safe space is in Old World. Please don't explode on me again, Airbrush. Very nice. Start of the stream was such an absolute cluster, by the way. I'm sorry about that. I'm going through like Pandarax. What's the Pandarax campaign? That doesn't even like sound familiar. It's not being dumb. I don't think I've ever heard of that. I should have realized something was wrong with the airbrush. My nozzle was like loose, and now that I just have to hand tighten it, and now it's going perfectly. I think it was loose during my other airbrush session also, and now I just feel like the biggest idiot in the world. Damnation Circle, it's Katchan barely hanging against the Black Legion. It's down to the wire. It's super intense. Is that like, what edition was that? That was that because this was pre like fall. That's I feel like I've heard of that, but I feel like that's pre Fall of Cadia, right? It's like pretty far before Rising Storm, right? I think that's older lore. Also, I'm being an idiot. I just don't know anything about 40k lore, which, to be fair, might be a thing. I'm not saying that's untrue. Yeah, pretty much pre-Fall of Cadia. Okay, understood. Yeah. That was like, I feel like 2014 was like the peak of my, I want to get into this, but I have not gotten a job yet, and I have no money, and my parents don't want to get this for me. Actually, I only ever asked my parents, but I just assumed it's too weird. It's too weird of a request. I mean, they were our own codex for a while, but yeah, I mean, I think organizationally, they just don't really have too many, or they used to not have things. Obviously, GW don't even do any restrictions for factions anymore, but the heaviest things I could take is historically like chimeras and a lot of hellhounds, and then sentinels and stuff. They couldn't even take any rust patterns, if I recall correctly, back in the day. I should have realized there was something wrong with the airbrush, but I'm just being an idiot. Yeah, the Grey Knights felt like they were just another chapter. Weren't treated like KGB. Elder Drago isn't insufferable yet. Grey Knights change a lot, like throughout lore. I don't know. Like functionally, I never liked Grey Knights. They're especially like now as like a major Imperial fact. I don't know. But yeah, Grey Knights change a lot. They have like I would argue like four distinct different phases. Probably five. They definitely use Russ's, and they have the Blame Blaze mobile command center is quite fantastic. Huh. Well, yeah, this was like 2014. I meant like back old catch and like had never had any tanks, which I actually thought like is kind of cool. Like you to make them stand out more. I feel like the Baneblade as like the mobile command center. I don't know. At the same time, I like they're jungle fighters, right? It makes sense that in their original conception they would just be going in with hellhounds uh and lighter vehicles. That's not really how GW designs factions anymore, which I think is a little bit of a shame. My one of my core conceits is a sub faction ends up being more interesting if they are given as many trade-offs as they are given like straight upgrades. I think it was a while before 40k was good at managing those two things, and now not so much. Okay, all right. Dunk this out. Drops of water through this. Okay, and we somehow managed to salvage this absolute cluster. Uh, cluster that we accomplished at the start of the stream. I don't know. I still basically act like Primaris isn't a thing. Everything surrounding that still is not necessarily for me. We're still alive, right? Yeah, looks like it. Oh. They were just as much guerrilla fighters, guerrilla fighters as they were an armored regiment. It was kind of neat how they jump cultists from jungles and then clean up the stragglers with Leman Russ. I could see that. Yeah. I could see it, that being fun. There we go. Perfect. Alright, now this is clean. I just need to get some new water. I will be back momentarily and we will get our actual base coats on there. I mean, there's no one else here. Feel free to blow it up. Feel free to do as you please. I'm not stopping. Alright. We gotta just start mixing here to get a. I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna do green skin. I'm gonna add in some of this ultramarine blue to do a darker green base coat before we go in with our base slash highlight, which is gonna be like this more minty green. Also, you know what I'll do? I will, in case someone hasn't seen it, I'll put the link to the stream in your share your content thing. Get to my enter. Yep. And I'll do the same in there. All right. And then I feel like that's still thick, so I'm gonna add some more water. All right. Let's see how that goes on. Yeah, I mean, like, that's hope. I feel like just straight mint green would obviously be. I did not mix that as thoroughly as I thought I did. I'm gonna let that go for a moment. There we go. Yeah, I'm already liking the way this is coming along. Let me just make one small adjustment here. How are you thinking of applying them? Sponging, or are you gonna do a think a little bit more? I know you don't have an airbrush at the moment. Or again, do something more traditional, like wet blending them. I used to be a huge wet blender, but somehow I've fallen out of it. Used to be my go-to way of doing yellow before I do not my contrast paint layer that I do now. I feel like the paint at the top of this airbrush is not. How are you planning on getting that gradient? Wet blending it, or are you gonna do some sponging work? Because I know you don't have an airbrush, so you can't do something like what I'm doing here. I see. Yeah, I think that would look really nice. For the base colors, I'm gonna break down to dark reds, blues, greens, and go up from there. Oh, so you're not doing your orange, or I assume dark red is maybe base coat for orange. I assume it's the same scheme you did on those gaunts you showed a while back, right? This is something new you're going for. Yep, scheme's staying the same. Alright, I thought so. Oh, hey, Warden. How is it going? We finally got these guys built up. We're working on the POW. The start of the stream was actually a kind of hilarious comedy of errors, but I feel like I'm starting to kind of get my footing here. Fuck. I'm so sorry. I just like punched my microphone. Yeah, that probably did not sound too good for you guys. Sorry about that. He's copying you, Warden. Don't listen to him. It was a red terror. I swear I saw it with my own eyes. He has one. You need to take it from him, Warden. He'll come after me and my family. Just be this, yeah. See? But then you'll be eliminated, so to speak. Warden will be in jail. And the throne is open. All 200 subscribers will be mine. I'll be almost halfway to making $3 off this YouTube channel. My end goal, my greed. With your newly arrived peasantry of 230 subs. Absolutely. It was me that had the red terror all along. I'll lead them to greatness. I'll usher in a new era. Oh, it's all part of my master plan. A tu brute. You'll be a better streamer than we ever could. You say that like I didn't spend the first like hour of the stream spilling paint everywhere and having like a jittery camera because I messed up my airbrush setup. You say that as though I was like competent. If Face got the red terror, it would put Mal in danger. I like those odds. Oh, Face, if you get the red terror, in that case, you get the red terror, I'll cancel my Patreon subscription. My $5 a month. You can get anything except for that model. I don't trust Gino not to rat me out. I already have the thumbnail and title, the clickbait thumbnail planned out for this video. It's like objectively horrible. It's gonna be the worst thing I've ever made. It's gonna be great. Oh wait, this guy needs his blue shadows. Eliminated competition. Base, I've said it once, I said again. You have the best, like, subscriber to patron ratio in the game. Like, it's actually unbeatable. Also, you know, hey, we could grow together. Like, I don't, like, really, you know, who am I? I'm small fish. I'm small potatoes. Green bean Tao. They're gonna be mint Tao, but we're getting the shadows in. Hmm. Small potatoes are still potatoes. Mint chai Tao. That's it. Our little corner of the internet is my favorite. Lame. There's a lot of blue in this. I don't think I realized how strong this ultramarine blue is, because it's covering up all. Should be fair. Some of these army paints do not have great pigment counts, but still, it's kind of insane how blue this is all still looking. That's like 2%. Oh, there. Okay, finally. We're out of the blue zone. We can do our more mild shadows. This is getting us sort of more where we want to be. Decide, Kato the Assassin. I don't get that reference. Text to speech? Yeah, I haven't seen it. I watched a couple episodes. I know, I'm a bad 40k fan. I fell off there after a dozen or so. It got a little off the beaten path for me. Yeah, I know some people really like it, but it's my favorite thing in the world. But their depiction of Kale will be the only way I ever see him. After his PTSD-ridden self in Dark Imperium, he is not okay. Another book I haven't read. Wait. Oh, I have read Dark Imperium. Never mind. That's one of the ones I read. He's a smurf. He'll never have my condolences. Never, I tell you. I feel sneeze coming on. Prepare yourselves. Pass. Never mind it. It's because you're weak. The GW will never get me to like Ultramarines, no matter what they do. I stay hating face. You've proven yourself to be susceptible. They can make the best book in the world, I still will hate Ultramarines. The issue now is I put my airbrush on my desktop PC, and every time it shakes around, I'm just really hoping, you know, it doesn't mess anything up, like, irreversibly. It's rattling about over there. I just hope it's all okay. Um, well, I'm gonna do all my highlights with the airbrush, and I'm not gonna do any additional shading besides the dark blues you see in the edges. And I ordered some Tamiya panel liner. Gonna see how that works on the bigger guys, and maybe I might even do on some of the smaller fellas, if it's required. If not, I'll probably just go into some of those recesses with black wash if they are looking fat, or flat rather. Yeah, white and pink. Yo. Honestly, I'd love to see Tau that are too prosperous and they suffer from morbid obesity. Nah, the Greater Good would never. They'd redistribute to, like, the crew or something. They're too prosperous. They've all got like a 4-inch move. They start suffering attrition if you ever make them advance. It's rough out there. Also, Warden, I'd be going and watching your stream too, but then I'd lose continuity over here. Oh, Warden streaming as well? Nice. Very nice. Yeah, I feel like Saturday's probably, time when all people are free. Obviously. Chungus. You're taking me back with that one. Take me back to like late or like mid high school. Throw everyone off. Gino won't know where to go. Also, I guess since you're here, I just want to pass it by you. Are you okay with me streaming on the Tuesdays you don't stream? Is that like good with you? Because I've done it I think like 3 times now, so I just want to make sure that that's like all okay. I'm not like, getting it on your turf. You're not gonna have to like Walter White over here. Tell me to stay out of your territory. I will, just let me know soon. It doesn't bother me. My schedule has been over replaced, so not even advertising Tuesdays anymore. Just know that I will stream sometime during the week. Oh, okay. Understood, yeah. Just because Tuesday has, primarily because I've been watching you, turned into a personal like hobby day. So I just wanted to know if I do end up streaming that day, or if you don't stream that day, I will likely be streaming instead. Yep, yeah, I got it. And same for you guys, if one of you are streaming, I'll hang back. Yeah, I mean, the way I try and do it is like, at the moment, you guys have primacy, because, first of all, I don't even want to primarily be a streamer. I have other stuff to do. I'm already going to be recording this for, footage for videos. But I primarily want to be making videos. I think that's where I'm best. Now that I have some more time, I might as well stream it and then make something of it in the long term. But obviously, great for you and Grave, streaming seems to be the core of your guys' model. So I want to let you guys have streams when you're able, right? Especially for you, because you're like, I don't mind if someone streams when I'm streaming. It's not really that important to me. I'll hang back, but step on my toes, please. Yeah, like I'm not out here to be a streamer, is my main thing. Especially since we are growing this community together, step on my toes means stream when I stream. Yeah, I mean, I feel like time is a limited commodity. I feel like if someone can stream, I would prefer they would. Like as often as possible, just get those hours in. Because I feel like, to be quite honest, anyone getting more viewers is good, right? Because I feel like we have a decent feedback loop here, where if we are able to get more engaged people, those sort of like high engagement viewers are likely to then stumble on the rest of us, and it's just a overall net positive for us. Because we're all basically buddies here, right? Is what it seems like. Yeah. Because streaming shorts honestly are not that much work. But I have some time, and I have a bit of a gamble I'm doing, in terms of maybe growing the channel, and the issue is like high effort stuff is it takes a lot of time, and you'll never get to the point of being able to do it consistently and to a high quality because there just isn't that much time with other commitments, right? So I'm making a bit of a gamble and not making a priority, but leaving myself some time open to videos, and if I get good returns, I might be able to make it a bigger part of my financial repertoire. Of course, I have no clue that will actually work out, which is why I'm not putting too much hope on that plan, but I am in a position where I'm decently well off, and I think it probably won't hurt my long-term prospects to waste a bit of time trying to do some YouTube videos over the summer. I'm liking the transitions here on this fella. I'd be down, but there's also a lot of commitment that comes with that. There's the kind of content I'm putting out now is not the kind of content I necessarily want to be putting out in the future. Is, I guess, how I'd word it. I know that sounds like sort of weird and ominous. What does that even mean? But maybe try and explain off stream. Because I'm going for something a little bit different with my next upload. Yeah, I remember you mentioning them before. I mean, it seems like they have a good thing going. I think they are some like it might not be the worst idea in the world to try and ape off that model. No, I mean I'd be down for it. It's just that yeah, I don't know. I think getting weighed down before being established is a little bit like it makes it difficult to transition away from maybe stuff that's not working. 'Cause I don't think any of us are like particularly set in our YouTube journeys. I don't know. Of course, it's something we can talk about though. Like conversation that can be had. Yeah. My main thing that I'm trying to do in the future is just get a repertoire of like content out and then see what works and what people like from me. So I did like already a very dry tutorial. My next video is gonna be a little bit more comedically oriented. It's gonna be like a complete 180. I'm gonna see how that works, right? And then I have some other plans if that doesn't work out. Right? I'm just seeing putting stuff out there, seeing what I like and what other people like, and then judging what to do going in the future. Yeah, I mean, you already had like a pretty good breakout with your Hell's Reach reaction, right? I'm just sort of looking to see if I can find what breaks out for me, right? 'Cause I don't really know what. I don't have a great idea of what necessarily kind of content I want to be doing here, or if I want to transition away from hobby stuff, or if you know, I have like 3 or 4 scripts I've written out that I know I want to do eventually. But I'm still trying to find out like styles and genres of video that it's not just about what does well in the algorithm. It's like stuff that I end up liking and being proud of, right? And just getting better at the whole video portion of this. That is a thing. I'm like acting like my videos are like masterpieces, right? I know that there's stuff I need to improve on. I just love to do the Eons of Ball style paying VODs, but I don't have the time to make those videos consistent. Yeah, my thing is I also don't watch like a lot of hobby stuff. The only person I consistently watch is like Lords of War, who do like business style discussions. Like the only streamers I watch at all are like you guys, right? I don't watch Twitch or anything, right? I'm doing live streams, so that does put me at a disadvantage, but I feel like it also doesn't cloud my expectations with comparison. It lets me do my own thing. Yeah, but I don't think that's like genuine growth. I think that's some sort of like cosmic sacrifice you're doing. Some sort of like a karmic synchronization, or being to Geno. Like how ancient cultures used to like sacrifice. You're the equivalent of like an Aztec warrior, tearing out his like best friend's heart for power. Deal with the devil. Is Geno my breakout thing? It might be. I think just like consistently like good streams of like a fun vibe. When you have like good output, you get stuff done consistently. There's always a reason to tune in because you're working on new stuff. Yeah, Quetzalcoatl gave you 200, or yeah, you're up to 200, right? Or are you not? Or you're at like 190. Quetzalcoatl gave you 190 subs, and as a price, you now have Rage Waves. How's my cinematography? Is it like easy to follow what I'm doing with the airbrush, or is that just sort of like a mess? Be honest here, I need feedback. Man thinks he's a barbarian over here. What's 5e barbarian like? Number of times equal to proficiency bonus? Warden, you just need to figure out your proficiency bonus. So you can time them. Yeah, I am holding stuff a bit far. I think you are right about that. I think I had a more aggressive zoom before. I don't know why actually I know why I changed the settings. I don't know why I didn't change them back. I think I was at like 170, and then I have auto. Yeah, I think autofocus is the way to go. I think actually that feels a little bit too close now. Actually, I think manual focus is better. That's good. I do really like the head in this guy. Dremel came in clutch there. Let's see if all the... It's gonna be the moment of truth in a few moments when we figure out. But, well, yeah, but how many times is it per... for 5e Barbarian, how many times can you use it? Because he talks about these rage waves, but you know, is it what was it? Advantage on all strength-based attacks. Is it? It's not advantage on all strength-based attacks. No, the advantage comes from reckless attack. Unless it's 2024, but I don't think so. I think you're wrong there, Face. Because 5e Barbarian is, you get your rage bonus, which scales by level, you add that to attacks. I mean, play 5e more, I know that. Come on. I also DM for many, many years. Like, many play groups, so I actually know the game quite well. We're talking about D&D and how far I should zoom in my... my camera, and that you're a D&D 5th edition barbarian. Because you have the rage ability. You have the rage class feature. Yeah, man, these old army painter paints were not great. I was having a lot of trouble airbrushing those. And they don't like mixing. Okay. Oh! Can I show off the... Everything's probably gonna fall. I did graffiti the word face onto the back of my airbrush box. Like a swirly line. Kind of looks like the... I don't know if you can say what that looks like. Never mind. Actually, yeah, I never opened up this paint, right? This is like fresh. It is fresh. With a seal and everything. That's supposed to go here. Inside of the cap. Take this off. This chatter. Come on, Warren. You can't be getting psyched out by your own guys. I like to think that like on your end, your stream, like you're being like super cordial, super nice. Meanwhile, you're like shit talking him in the in my chat. Don't tell me I'll get mad AF. Listen, you seem to have that part figured out. I want to get in your way, big man. Face. See, I'm really cool because I know Dungeons and Dragons abilities. I'm sure all the girls will want to go to prom with me. I'm sure my boss will give me a raise. So D&D class abilities off the top of my head. That makes me cool, right? I like Druid too, but I typically play a lot of clerics. This guy's a little bit wet. Let's see how this green looks. Alright, boys. Moment of truth. This was all for. All for his mint green shade on top. To be honest, we probably could have gone. We didn't even need to do all of that shade work before. I feel like that was maybe a little bit overblown, but you know, I want to make sure this looks good. So I did not have a test model. Circle of the Moon for yeah, Circle of the Moon's busted, bro. I low-key hate Circle of the Moon. Alright, have a good one. Let me know if you have still a second. Let me know what you think of the green. Now that we're where we need to be. Later, sorry I'm late. You are good. Warren, what do you think of this green? I'm actually really liking it. Minty boys, thank you. We're going for. Minty Devilfish boys. That's the guys. These are the Minty Devilfish boys. There. Perfect. All right. Yeah, this army painter paint is super glossy, but the thing covering over with this hyper matte Monument Hobbies paint. Oh, you fucker. I think I'm actually kind of in love with how these guys are coming out. I'm only thinking if I should stay with my original idea of white or if I should do black undersuit. I think I'll probably do one of each. Which one I prefer. My airbrushing hand's getting cramped out. Hey, we're done. Very nice. Very nice. I will start cleaning up. So just clean this airbrush. I think these guys honestly look awesome. Alright, I will go on a quick airbrush cleaning break, and then we will clean up our little recording space. Might even... Oh, wait. Oh wait. This. Alright, be right back, guys. Sorry about that. I just bumped everything. Off on that beer. Finish up my coffee. Yeah. You turn this off. Not that. This. Okay. Orientate a few things. Bike. just we can actually adjust our focus so you guys can see a little better. And also just to show off the magnetization. Wow. I magnetize these guns because I'm lazy. I should have, but if I really care, I'll come back to it. I was seeing a few areas I missed, like underneath this guy. This more so matters because you can actually see the bottom of that Guardian drone. It's less on the other ones. I do love how matte this finishes. These guys are really, really cool looking. So I think we're just gonna grab a couple of the Fire Warriors. We're gonna test our scheme. We're gonna do one in purple. We're gonna do one in black undersuit. And we're gonna see which one we prefer. Or one in white, one in black. I might even put them near the top here so people coming in can actually see what we've been working on. So, let's just do the undersuits first. I think for black, I'll probably just go over black contrast because it usually looks okay, especially for smaller areas like this. Also, I'm gonna look at how GW painted on this art. Just so I know if I need to, I'll pull up the actual. I'll pull up the bigger one on the GW site just so I can actually see. Actually, I might just do that now. Magnets. Yes, we got magnets. Let me pop out the chat, put this on. That. And then let me look at a strike team. And get some big art here. Confirm I'm human. Of course oh my god, I need to click on chairs? GW, I thought we were closer in this. Okay. We're in. We've hacked the mainframe, we're in the system. The original idea was white, but now I feel like that's not going to look great with the mint now that I like see it all together. I think I would prefer contrast. Also, I think I forgot my water in the laundry room. My paint water, Derpy. I feel like contrast paint will also just make black the easier color. Which I'm definitely gonna have to weigh in my approximation of which one I end up doing. We're gonna leave that half done because I can at least get an impression of what this is gonna look like. And we're gonna start getting just really quickly through what the white looks like. There's a specific off-white I want to be using here that I can't seem to. Yeah, I think this might not contrast well enough with the mint green. I think it may just be that simple. I don't think white's gonna look good. No, I think just too pastel. Like I'm looking at that contrast, and I think even like highlighted up, that's not gonna. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna look good. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Let's do some pink bits. And when I say it, I mean I'm purple bits because I want to get some shading on there. This is a very opaque paint. No, or I think we might keep the white just as a spot color for certain things like that area. Hey, Scorpion, what's going on? I am doing great myself. Quite happy with how these tower coming along. Trying out some new techniques. Trying to just get better at painting. Betrayer. I think Warden's also streaming. Fun. Hey! A fellow Black Templars enjoyer. How's it going? What malls have you painted so far? Anything Black Templar specific or just Space Marine stuff? Not to shill too hard, but I did hear there's a pretty good it went bad. Ooh. Well, I hear there's a pretty nice black tutorial floating around that, you know, covers a few different techniques of how to do black, so, you know, might want to give that a watch. I feel reseal. So what I'm getting from that is the video did not help, and it was and I'm a bad teacher. Well, I mean, I will give advice where I can. If you you tell me about what you think went wrong, or show me some pictures, I will definitely try and help you. I forget. I think you're in one of the Discords, right? If you have my @, feel free to DM me. I will be happy to help if I am able. I thin my paints inconsistently. Either I didn't thin them at all, and it was too sticky, or I thinned them too much and I didn't stick at all. What? I assume it wasn't the armor, right? Because coverage on black is usually pretty good. Yeah. If you are a newer painter, thinning paints can be quite tricky. So I mean, was it with the black or was it some other? Uh, yeah, that's fair. Typically, brush size doesn't matter as much as a lot of people think. Like as you paint, you get brush control, right, which helps you paint very carefully, even with a big brush. But of course. But of course, as you're learning to paint, a small brush will help you fine tune that brush control. It was with the black. Yeah, so black you can usually go quite thin. What color base coat we're doing it over? Excuse me. So, with black, you can usually thin it down quite a bit. I mean, I thinned it down too much and they didn't stick at all. I mean, like, you know, if you need to work in multiple coats, what you'd never want to do is you never, ever would want to, like, start off a base coat and then not let it dry completely and then go back in. That will usually mess with it. But I mean, if the black was too thin, I will just let it dry and continued on. Like afterward, do another coat, and this is just sort of stuff you would. Sure, as you continue, it will. Oh, hey, it's Gino. What is going on? We base coated Tau. I'm quite happy with them. They're lacking some definition. I'm hoping the panel liner I ordered will be enough to salvage them. But other than that, I'm quite happy with how they're turning out. Nice! Hope that was fun. See, to me, it feels very early to come back at wedding at 10:37. There's a whole thing about how if you're... Oh man, everyone's pouring in. We have a whole... Yeah, hey Threads, how are you doing? We have a whole thing about weddings where if you like are good friends with a person, you need to be there from... Usually we start weddings crap early. Like service is gonna be there. Been there since like 2. Yeah, we usually start in the afternoon, and you're not supposed to leave if you're like good friends with the person until like sun up, basically. Yeah, like you're literally supposed to see the sun come up across the horizon. But of course, that's the bizarre Polish tradition where you just drink all night and you pass out and you drink more. I see you are not quite that debaucherous. I don't know my cousins very much anymore. I got you. I mean, either way, it's not like it's like a tradition for you, right? I have definitely been guilted into staying very late for weddings. But yeah, I hope everything's going well, Threads. Elk Lodge kicked everyone out at 6, lol. Gonna try and fix that and make us close again. Yeah, I think that's one of the big things, right? You know, if you're like, ever close, obviously it's with friends, but even like with family, right? Especially when like you're younger, you're not really going over and you know, family parties or like Thanksgiving, or whatever. So you gradually fall out of touch with people that you were close with, right? Your close cousins. I am noticing that I did do a lot of really nice. I did do a lot of airbrush coats and gave very nice, subtle shading on this guy, but he does have a bit of texture to him. I'm hoping that's not on every guy. It's something I'm noticing as I paint. Hey, I wish you luck on rekindling that old friendship. I drank, smoked, snuck alcohol. I made in great time and ended the day with sheets. Hey, sounds like a fantastic night then. Sounds like you had a very, very good night. Me over here, I'm just working on school assignments and painting Warhammer like an absolute nerd. I do want to give the blast of OSL from the eye at the very end. I might just add in some white. prepare for that. I want to get like a fluorescent pink if I can. I've seen like a that is a thing that Monument Hobby sells, so I might need to pick that up at some point. All right, let's see if we can't give you guys a high def image of this guy. What does everyone think of the scheme? I do need to go back in with some panel liner once I get that. Translucent, like bright, hot pink, for the eye lenses. For now, I'm just gonna dot those in white. Thank you. The bigger guys, like stealth suits and stuff, I think came out fantastically. I'm really happy about the Ghost Keel. There's a ram drone on his base. And I even backed him up. So we got Fusion. And we got, I think, was this Ion? It's like an Ion gun, right? Got some blue text still that I need to get rid of there, but I don't know. Quite happy with the scheme so far. Let me see what I want to do for the base. So I know for a fact I want to start off with a gray. Pretty dark gray. I was thinking of doing some like crazy color for these aquarium rocks on the ground, maybe like a blue. I am hoping the panel liner looks how I want it to, because going in here and lining all these little panels with wash is gonna kind of be horrendous. Well, yeah, the issue is that all those big sections of teal have like no contrast, or like no separation. Like there's some like nice subtle shadow, but besides that, there's not really much in the way of like separating the panels. But hey, it's in the mail, so we'll see how that works out. All right, I guess while waiting for the base to dry and finish up there. I think we'll just get. I was debating doing white for the undersuit, but I think I prefer doing white accents. Um, I feel like we already have the pink, we already have the teal. We don't need too many other colors there. Uh, Distracting from the core. I think our core scheme is actually quite strong, and very vivid, bright colors. So I think just doing blacks and whites as accent colors is a-okay. Is anyone else working on anything? Do you have anything in the pipeline threads? I have been looking at was it you that posted, what was it, a bunch of orcs in it's like the what's it called? It was in Graves Discord. Oh, I'm working on Black Templar. Nice. Remind me, Scorpion, are you in any of the Discords? Do you post your stuff anywhere? If so, I've probably seen it if you are in Graves, but I maybe just haven't put a name to the face, so to speak. Yeah, it was a big pile of orcs with the Jurassic Park theme. Have you posted that particular Templar? Because I think I did see a Templar in Graves. Uh Custom. Yeah, then Graves. Yeah, this is you. Cinderus? Tinderus? Ah, I see. Yeah. The paint does seem somewhat thick. In some areas, yeah, I could see with the tabard. Yeah, okay. I mean, you're getting some good definition in with the wash there. I mean, it looks like these. I think you mentioned that, right? Will repaint. Yeah, I mean, if it's your first main, right? You always. I saw so many. That's always the case with these kinds of events in old. Yeah, I mean, I think for a first mate does not look bad. My first mate did not look fantastic either, right? It's room to grow, right? Either I would say just like see it through, carry on, and you'll have something to look back on fondly when you are a competition-winning painter. But yeah, I mean, if you're struggling with the big brush, I would definitely. I mean, you could usually find pretty budget-friendly brushes. At most, like retailers. Like I'm sure you can work something out. If you do think that's your the main thing holding you back. Let's just keep painting. Keep getting spillover onto these teal bits. No good. Yeah, be careful. We were all almost together too, just missing two cousins. Nice. I've recently bought a smaller brush, and I have a syringe for water lying around somewhere. All right. So I'm also saying that it looks like you're not. Did you prime your mini? Yeah, Walmart does have decent brushes. Carries a paint. Calls a brand called Ghost. I've not heard of that. Threads. It's only $3 a brush for synthetic. You could go there, Scorpion. It's called Prime Time. Search for waters to scan. Yeah, I primed them. Did you like add the weapons on after the fact? Like, did you change out his loadout or something? I'm just saying, it looks like raw plastic, at least to me. Unless you just primed in GW gray. But it looks like it has like sort of a gloss finish. Or if you are, you did prime a gloss finish. No, it's a clear primer. Is it a gloss clear primer? Usually you want your primers to be a bit more matte. If I haven't heard of people using a clear primer, I think that might be causing a few of your issues just because different primers have different consistencies, and it might be why your paint's not sticking when it's too clear or when it's too watery, is because of the type of primer you're using. It does not give the paint a good surface to adhere to. Matte varnish works as primer? It does, yeah. But I don't know if he's necessarily using a matte varnish or if he's using like a gloss or a satin. That might not be yeah, I mean, also like black primer for Templars makes your job quite a bit easier for getting that base coat down. Yeah, of course. Yeah. No. I'm not telling you to reprime it. I'm telling you, just in the future, that might be a direction you may want to go, is starting off from a black prime. Of course, if budget and all those other real life factors allow for that. Yeah, I mean, Abaddon Black is perfect. There are cheaper options also. Just because I know GW primers are a bit of so I used brush on primer for a very long time. Vallejo. It's actually this stuff. Even before I used an airbrush, even before I got an airbrush, I would use this and just brush it on in thin coats. Usually 2 thin coats was sufficient for my projects. I think Army Paint Primer is Leaguesburg and GW Primer. I've used both. I remember having a issue with Army Painter's cans, but that was like, yeah, people sort of disregard brush on primer, but it works fine as like if you can get a smooth base coat on there. Like, I've painted lots of pretty nice minis with brush on primer before I got an airbrush. I only got an airbrush recently, but before that, I would brush on like probably at least half the models I painted, if in case weather wasn't good for it. I'm using Abaddon Black for base coat. Yeah, I don't really use GW paints. I know a lot of those base paints can leave a texture. You might need to thin them more than you might see people doing for other brands of paint. And of course, paint thinning is something you do get accustomed to as you go through your journey of learning mini painting. I varnish all mine after paint to keep the paint protected as well. Yeah, varnish. I know some people don't bother with it, but I varnish everything I paint. Also, it's basically like a requirement if you're gonna be doing something like that Tamiya product I talked about, since the gloss varnish will stop it from adhering to the surfaces and allow the product to work as intended. The only possible issue with Army Painter Primer is that it doesn't come off with alcohol. I remember having a problem with the can. I don't know if that was just me. Or rather, the nozzle of the can. Like mine got gunked up pretty hard. It was quite difficult to clean, even after I took it off and like it stopped spraying well. But to be fair, I primarily use like cheaper like Krylon and like not necessarily mini painting spray paints usually. I find that they're just a lot cheaper and do basically the same thing. Of course, you know, don't take my word for it. It's a different experience, but you can get close to the same effect, right? It doesn't functionally change the paint job. Yeah, I mean that's fair. To me, it's like an assurance policy, right? Well, I also play with mine typically, but even if it is a display piece, I like knowing that that paint job is locked in. That no matter who comes around with their greasy fingers and touches all my stuff, that paint job is there to stay. There's a assurance I like having. All right, we're 3 hours in the stream. Let me check one thing real quick. All right. All right. So, base is dry. Let's do a couple light dry brushing. Or a few like. Oh, I can't talk. Oh man, sorry about that, guys. Holding in that sneeze for a while. So, let's do this. Let's do a bit of this, and let's get that rock. A little bit of texture on it. And then for the gray, we'll just mix some white. This color. And then just dry brush that layer gray. There's a bit of definition. I think I'm good doing the black room on the base now. So Mal, are you on all types of tabletop or just a Warhammer Wargame? Tabletop game player. I don't really board game. My main hobby is RPGs. That's what I do the most of. I like wargaming as a secondary thing, but I'm a little bit more into the painting side of things. Although I do, of course, like the game. I play the game quite often. Or play war games quite often. I don't really play 40k too often anymore. But yeah, board games never really sunk their claws into me. So I guess that's like the main one. Oh, I'm not really into TCGs, with one exception. There's I played Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, right? I have some Pokemon cards. That's about it. I'm not really into those games. I never got the Magic, but there's a sort of like Magic clone, like retro Magic clone called Sorcery, and I love that game. I love the art style of everything about that game. No, I've never been to PAX Unplugged. I mean, it's like, you know, RPGs and war games. I feel like I'd fit into PAX Unplugged if I were to go. Like, I definitely think there is stuff there for me. I'm just not really. I'm not like a huge convention guy. Like, I'm a lot more local Ren fairs than I am at like like big cons like that. Is that the PA Run Fair or is that a different one? The PA Run Fair is like huge. Um, I don't know if the Mount Hope one is secondary to that. I don't know. I've been to PA Run Fair. I thought it was quite good. Past few times I went. Unless these are different events. Yeah, PA Run Fair. Ah, oh, see. Okay. I mean, I went there. Oh God, it's like been 5 years ago now. It's like, yeah, last time I was there was like, no, yeah, like 4 or 5 years. It was like freshman and sophomore year of college. I've not been there for a while. Shit all over my. Huh. It's by far the biggest run fair I've ever been to. Compared to the New Jersey Run Fair and the Sparta. It was pretty lame 3 years ago. Okay. Because I know a lot of the performers around here, and um, a lot actually will perform both places because they're not all that far away. So like the Sparta Run Fair and the NJ Run Fair, which are kind of far, but I'll make the drive out. But I mean, they had decent things to say even in the last couple of years, but they're also involved in it. I'm like a military nerd, so I'm always just going to the HEMA people. HEMA. I don't know why I said but end there. He doesn't exist as Psyop by Gino. It's like all the Amish get together and it's just all a big hologram. Is that what you're saying? I'd believe it. BRB. Hey, Gratward, I just saw. Congratulations, my friend. I wish I had like confetti for you right now. Alas, I do not. Not even a hologram, just an just an elaborate lie. I've been there. So where was I really? Was I like in Eastern Ohio? Oh, that would've been funny. Oh, I won't do it now, but I wish I was that funny. Oh man. Yeah, you hit the you hit the point where everyone just wishing for your downfall. We'll all be corroborating against you. I can see it now. Just like a grand conspiracy. Me, KS, Gino, all in on it. Right, let's put the stealth suit to the side for now. And I think this guy's... never mind. Let's pick the stealth suit back up. I think I might try and paint another mate today, but take my time. Yeah, I mean, it... You need to build up confidence when painting minis, like... Especially when you're first... I've taught quite a few people to paint. It always takes a little while. Like, you need to build up your confidence, you need to build up your brush control. If you're not, like, already, like, an art guy, you just need to build up the motor control. The court would like to put the defendant's Discord chat into evidence. Yeah. What's it called? Like, Face was, like, grilling me because of the mini I painted when I was, like, 12. Like, oh... He's being really snarky about it. And to be fair, his like first mini was pretty good, but you know he he obviously watched quite a few tutorials beforehand, right? So. Oh, I forgot they have the new stealth suits. I was looking for photo reference of what should be black. But I can't find them. The old ones, at least. I don't even believe that's true, honestly. If you guys give me a little bit, I could put my first mini. It's gonna take me a little while to find it. Actually, BRB again. All right, I'm back. BRB, but still there. Well, I mean, in terms of voice, right? I was talking to somebody. I'm sorry. I was here just unavailable. Please forgive me. Oh, I think we ran out of music. Fix this momentarily. It's oversight on my end. I'm going too long. But honestly, I'm having a good time. I'm liking these Tau. Or at least I'm liking the mint green I'm going for. Honestly, a pretty cool scheme if I do say so myself. What are you thinking? I think I like the synthwave mix. We'll go with this. Captain Oversight. Eh. Oh, checking. He looks fine. See, now I'm gonna have to bring my first mini out for a public shaming ritual. The Kroot looks good, bro. It's okay. For a first mini, that's perfectly. Like, I didn't watch any guides or anything. I just, like, bought some minis and threw some heavy body acrylics on. But I have, like, I painted as a kid, right? And, like, I knew about lights and shadows. And today, like, when I paint, I have, like, a very sketchy style. Or not sketchy, but, like, I have very sharp, like, textured highlights. Like, I don't do, like, smooth coats. You know any of what? Well, yeah, so, like, I just, I watched one video about an egg. Well, yeah, but you had, like, I mean, you got the paints where you need to be. I played too much. I want to, like, do. I painted the mini the way I was used to painting in my like on a paper, right, to get highlights and stuff, and it turned out horribly. It turned out real bad. It's I know I said the face at some point, but it was a long time ago. So I'm scrolling. Okay, hold on. This is like when Gino joined. Actually, this isn't. Okay, this is when he painted the Grand Clean one. This was his first sponging test. I feel like there's gonna be still quite a bit. This was me starting this YouTube channel. See, like, you were sponging. I was... Hold on. This is actually gonna be a shaming ritual. I was globbing on... I was globbing on, like, heavy-bodied acrylics. Alright, is everyone ready? Is everyone at the edge of their seats for the reveal? Oh, it's... That's my first mini. We're looking at my first mini Scorpion. That's my first guy. You could kind of see what I was going for with like the heavy brush strokes on the shoulders and stuff. It was not. I was not thinking because when I paint on the canvas, I'm not thinking down my paints. I'm loading on my brush and I'm using the brush stroke to get the texture I want, right? And that's the approach I took to mini painting. Why would you thin down a paint? That's not what I do on paper. Right? If anything, that texture adds to the effect. And pretty quickly I realized, oh, this looks like dog shit. And that's my first mini, guys. But hey, look how far I've come. My things look okay now. Yeah, like half decent. Most of mine and the Amal in general of my Discord, he posted his image a little bit ago. Are you talking about Scorpions? Yeah, he showed me before. I mean, I also think it looks fine. Probably looks better than mine, to be quite honest. Oh yeah, I was supposed to actually turn this guy into a proper showcase of what the scheme is going to be. AKA, I need to follow through on the last step, which is a little bit of snow effect. Probably want a smaller brush, but I don't want to use a good one. Huh? DC? Guys, my phone died. My phone, like, died. I could plug it in and keep going. However, I think we're gonna call a stream. So, I'm just over here preoccupied with painting some snow on the base. I'll call the stream momentarily. Have a good one, guys. If you want to see how the Tau are going, I will be posting in Graves and in Faces Discord. Have a good night, everybody. Hope this was very fun. Hope everyone had a good time. And I'm quite happy with how my tower come along so far. So, you will. Yep. Bye, Scorpion. Bye, Warden. Threads, Gino, Face, if you're still here. Have a good one.